Don't leave. Don't leave yet. Just waiting for Instagram to catch up. Here we go. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Live with Heather Vickery. I am Heather Vickery. I'm back from vacation. I did not do a live show with you last week. I missed you all, but I'm glad to be back with you today, even though it's a little hard to come back from vacation, isn't it? I'm so glad to have you all here today. I can see several of you here. I have a really interesting topic today that isn't something that I've talked about very often. So I think that that'll be fun. But before we do that, I see Brian. Hi, Brian. Mike is here. Hello, Mike. If you're here, say hi. Give me your name. Tell me where you're coming in from. My name is Heather Vickery. I am a transformational success coach. But what that really means is that I help people just like you, people who are conscious leaders, who are thoughtful about who they are in the world and how they are in the world. And I help you learn to lead from embodied joy and to master the trifecta of self, knowing, liking, and trusting yourself so that you can actually go out and make the impact in the world that you are here to make the difference in the world, but also make a difference for yourself, because you deserve to prioritize yourself, to focus on yourself. You really do deserve that. And I want you to explore that and enjoy it in so many different ways. So one of the ways that we do that is through hosting Journey to Self retreats. And I was just telling the folks over here on TikTok that I'm inspired, after just coming back from my own vacation, to give you guys $300 off of any registration for our Costa Rica retreat. It's happening January 2026. I know that sounds really far away, but y'all, it's really not. You can plan it. You can reserve the time, take the time off work if you need to, tell your friends, tell your family, tell everyone. We are going to be at the Imaloa Resort, which is incredible. 5-star luxury, the most beautiful accommodations, nestled in the mountains with an ocean view. It doesn't get better than that. And we have pulled out all the stops. We are doing so many incredible experiences that are, nothing is super physically active. It's mental, emotional well-being. We are doing some activation underneath waterfalls and some forest bathing, which is really cool. Cacao ceremonies and self-exploration, self-awareness, dance parties on beaches. We're going to have an amazing, amazing time. And if you want to come, you want to bring some friends, the best way to do that, go to my website, vickeryandco.com, under retreats. Well, under events, we have retreats. Costa Rica, or go to vickeryandco.com/Costa Rica. You can find us there too. And if you want to join us, you can save $300 right now. Let me just double check. Every time I go to say this, I always want to give the wrong code. It is save 300 CR. That's the code. Save 300 CR. Come and join us in Costa Rica. It's going to be amazing. So I talk a lot about taking responsibility for yourself, your choices, your actions, because it is super important that you do that. No one is in charge of you except you. No one can empower you except you. You have to be 100% fully engaged and responsible for all of the actions, choices, thoughts, and behaviors in your life. And yet, we also need to be conscious of how our actions impact other people, right? And so the topic that I chose today is about teasing and being on the other end of teasing. I'm sorry, you guys, I forgot to use my microphone, so there's a little bit of room noise in my house right now. I apologize. Stick with me, don't leave. There's nothing I can do about it right now. So I forgot to hook up my microphone, so it's just going to be a little loud and noisy down below. I apologize. So I am the kind of person that absolutely cannot stand to be teased. It literally physically hurts me. And I'm sure that it comes from some sort of past life, not past life. Well, maybe past life, but actually my life, younger life trauma, something where I felt shame around being embarrassed, things like that. I cannot stand to be teased. It really infuriates me. But what I can do is take radical responsibility for being clear about how something makes me feel. Now, this comes up all the time on my podcast. So I co-host a podcast called Was It Chance? It's the podcast about taking intentional risk for creative success. I host it with my good friend, Alan Seals. And Alan is a teaser. Like that's kind of his thing. He loves to tease. And sometimes I can let it roll and sometimes I can't. So my job is to be clear up front about what my capacity is today, or did we cross the line, or I don't know why, but that one's hard for me. And his job is, because usually his immediate go-to, and I wonder how many of you are like this. If somebody says, I don't like that, that doesn't make me feel good, or don't tease me or whatever. I think societally we kind of have this of, oh, stop being a baby, don't be so sensitive, just get over it, right? I certainly heard that a gazillion times growing up in my life. Like, stop being a baby, just get over it. You're fine. It's not a big deal. Um, and and he has said that. We've actually had this conversation live on the show a couple of times where he was like, "Oh, well, I feel like it's not a big deal." And I wanted to say to you, it's like, why are you so worked up? It's not a big deal. His job is to remember that I'm entitled to all of my feelings, just like he is, just like you are. We are all entitled to all of our own thoughts and feelings, even if they contradict somebody else's thoughts and feelings, even if we don't understand them, even if they come from a very different perspective that we do. And so it's better to either just take people at their word. I believe you, and I'm going to be aware of that. And I'm going to be conscious, and I'm going to do my best not to cause you pain or harm. And also to ask better questions, to get curious with people and to see what you could learn about this and maybe how you want to change your approach to begin with. What was the purpose of the teasing? Were you trying to be funny because you think you need more attention? Were you trying to actually make somebody feel bad or shame them? Like, think about your intention, because intention doesn't always equal impact, right? Think about, if you're really honest, like what did you want from that? What were you hoping to get from saying that thing or teasing that person or whatever it was, right? This is where self-reflection comes in really beautifully and powerfully. And it does help in massive ways. It really does help when you take that moment to be introspective and to say, what can I do about my own thoughts, choices, actions, and behaviors in this situation to create a different impact and outcome? So yes, we can take our own radical responsibility for all this stuff and set boundaries and be clear about what we're looking for and what we need, and ask people to show up in those ways. And if they cannot show up in those ways, and that may be the case too, not everybody can show up in the way that we want them to or need them to. And so then we have to decide, am I okay with that? Or does that not work for me? And you have those rights. Those are always your rights. The truth is, so many things can be true at once. Your thoughts and feelings are valid and they're true, and my thoughts and feelings are valid and they're true. And you either figure out a way to merge them or you don't. Maybe you can coexist, right? Like, is it okay? Does everybody have to think and feel like you? Does everybody have to respond and react the way that you do? I mean, the answer is no, they don't, because they're not going to, because that's human nature, right? It's never going to happen. And so for whatever reason, when I was getting ready for this live show, I really wanted to talk about teasing. And I know that some families really rib each other a lot. Like, they really go after each other, and that's almost their love language. But is it? Is it really a love language, or is it a trauma learned language? I find that something really interesting to explore within ourselves. Like, is there harm in that in your household if that's the way you are? And if you're like prickly about this, if I'm like striking a chord, then you might want to investigate it, right? Are are you causing harm unintentionally or experiencing harm unintentionally? Are you, do we fall into the methinks thou doth protest too much category if you're defending it? It's a really interesting thing to explore, because not everybody shows up into this space in the same way. And when we talk about leading from embodied joy, being a conscious leader in the world and being part of making things better, being part of the impact, and also taking time for ourselves, prioritizing ourselves, giving ourselves time and space and awareness and curiosity, It requires us to look at those things that we were raised with and that were around and to say, what was the purpose behind this? And did it affect me in a way that I haven't talked about before? I haven't been honest with before. Do I want more of that? Do I want less of that? Do I want to shift it? See, we can't change things if we're not consciously aware of them. Conscious awareness is really, really important. And if you don't want to take the time to pause and do that internal reflection, you're going to miss out on so much in life. And you don't have to do that. You don't have to choose to miss out. It's your choice. It's work. It's inner work. It's called work for a reason. It's going to take you some places that maybe you're afraid to go. But discomfort comes with change and growth. There's always discomfort in change and growth. Don't be afraid of that discomfort. Just be cautious and be thoughtful. I love that. You guys have been amazing today. There have been a bunch of you here, which is awesome. I'm going to pull a deck of Create Brave card from this deck of manifestation cards that I co-created with my friend Rachel Swanson. Aren't they gorgeous? I love them. Hi, Tessa Pruden. What class are you supposed to be in right now? 12:12 p.m. I love you. I love it when my daughter shows up to my live show. I'm going to pull a Create Brave card. I love this deck of cards. They are manifestation cards. So think of them like oracle cards or affirmation cards, and they always just show up exactly where you want them to, exactly when you need them to. If anybody is curious, you can get a set of Create Brave cards through my Instagram account in my Instagram store or on my website. So just go to the link in my bio. I think they're $38. They are so beautiful. They're thick. They're really well made. They have glitter teal edges. Okay, why can't the card for us hasn't shown up yet? I always shuffle until, oh, there it is, until the card that's meant for me. So the universe is like, here it is, here it is. Ah, folks, this fits, doesn't it? Unravel. I choose to take things apart to create something better. It's perfect for the topic that we've had today, right? We've been talking about reassessing, reflecting, teasing in particular, and how sometimes there's a lot of hurt and pain wrapped up in that, both as the teaser and as the one being teased. And so taking radical self-responsibility for what's that about? What's the motivation? Is it just honest, good fun? Or is it good fun at somebody else's expense? I don't know. So unravel it a little and see what shows up for you. I love that. I think it's really cool. Folks, little reminder that if you're into what I'm doing here, I have an $18 a month membership called the Spark Collective, where I drop weekly intuitive journal prompts I pull directly from human design transits. Very cool. And then once a month, I do a content drop. Once you join, you have access to the entire content library. So everything within the Spark Collective is designed to be consumed in 15 minutes or less to meet you wherever you are, whenever you need some time for yourself. So guided EFT tapping, visualization, meditation, quick win mini courses. And inside the collective, as a gift, I offer 2 full workshops a year. One is called Rest, and that is as we close the year out and move into a wintering space. And then one is called Bloom, and that's on the spring when we come back out of it. So I don't follow the calendar, the traditional calendar, January to December. I follow nature's calendar. So the seasons. So I winter and rest in the winter, and then I emerge and bloom in the spring. And I take my Spark Collective folks with me. That is only $18 a month, and it is an incredible value for what you're getting. It's a beautiful community. It's a lovely way to just show up for yourself in the crevices of your life when you've got a few minutes here or there, or when you just know you need to maybe regulate your nervous system or settle some things down. So come and hang out with us in the Spark Collective. Again, follow any of the links in any of my bios anywhere. Go to my website, vickeryandco.com. You'll find the Spark Collective. It's a really beautiful community. I'm really proud of everything that we're building there. And it is just for you, right? It is exactly for you so that you can give yourself 10 or 15 minutes a day, just a couple times a week, to truly show up for yourself. How often do you do that? And what would be different if you prioritized that time? And then the other thing is I am offering right now for the next 2 weeks, $300 off of our Costa Rica retreat for January 2026. That is good for any of the rooms, any of the retreat packages that you can book. That means you could get in for under $3,000 for a full all-inclusive 6-day experience in Costa Rica, staying in the mountains, 5-star luxury accommodations and food and service, plus all of these wonderful self-exploration experiences. So go to go to my website right now. Check out the Costa Rica retreat. The code, if you want to join us in Costa Rica and save $300, is save 300 CR. Save 300 CR. And share it with all your friends. We do have a capacity. Once we've hit capacity, we'll have to close the doors, but we're not there yet. And I would love to have you join us. Until next week, I'm going to go ahead and go because this is my first day back from vacation and I have a lot of things to do, and I have a coaching session here in just a little bit. And also I'm quite hungry. But until next week, I want to remind you to choose yourself bravely, because you are the only one that can choose yourself. You are the only one that can empower yourself. You are the only one that can save yourself. You are the only one that can make the difference in your life that you want to make. And I'm really proud of you. Thanks for coming and hanging out today. I'll see you next week. Until then, I'm Heather Vickery. Bye, everybody. Oh, you guys like my t-shirt? Joyful Warrior. Go Kamala. Love it. Talk to you guys later. Bye.